Hey guys, welcome back to my little comic corner here in the state of Kentucky. I hope everybody had a great start to the week. Just want to show you a few pickups I got recently. Got some keys. Actually, we had some keys. I one that was just an upgrade, and there's some. I did a trade with a friend of mine on Facebook, and I want to show you that. So we'll just get right to it. Uh, I'm in several groups on Facebook, and I don't really post on there a whole lot. I just kind of like to get on there and see what everybody else is talking about and what everybody else has got. And I think this is one of those groups like just called comic book collecting or comics from the 60s to the 80s or something. I can't remember. Uh, but anyway, some guy was showing his DC digests, and which I had a whole lot of them, but there were several I had missing. Uh, but like a couple guys hit me up and wanted to know if I had any duplicates. I wanted to move, and I was trying to find the ones I had missing, but nobody had had the ones that I needed. But one guy that needed some of the ones I had wanted to know said, do you need any 100-pagers or treasuries or collector's edition? I said, well, I just completed all my 100-pagers last year, and but there were some treasuries he had that I wanted to upgrade from ones I had, and actually a treasury that I didn't have. My son, I bought one for my son, but that was years ago when he was little. But anyway, these first three are upgrades, and I've got those on the shelf somewhere back here, but they're pretty well read and loved and trashed. So I got some. I traded 4 DC digests for 4 treasuries, and all of them are pretty nice shape. Probably fine or better. So anyway, here's a limited collector's edition C49 Superboy and the Legion, the Great Mike Grell cover. This is actually a treasury that got me interested in buying the old Legion strip in the Adventure comics, because it had a reprint of like a 2-parter from Adventure Comics back in the late 60s. I think Jim Shooter wrote it, and then Kurt Swan did the art. And I think it's like the first appearance of Mordrew, for you guys that know what I'm talking about in the Legion. But just, I love the story, so after that I tried to start collecting all the Adventure back issues that had Superboy and the Legion in it. This guy, like I said, it's got a great Mike Grell cover. And I think there's actually an issue of Back Issue magazine where Mike Grell, or not Mike Grell, but Alex Ross did a take on this, so it's pretty cool. There's all kinds of like little puzzles, and they got like a diorama you can cut out on the back. So another one upgraded was LCE C35 Shazam, Jackson Bostwick on the cover. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Bostwick at a con about 3 years ago. Really nice guy. Autographed a couple things for me. But I think basically this has just got some old reprints by C.C. Beck and Otto Binder, Kurt Schaffenberger. Some good stuff. One I was really happy to upgrade that I had worn out was my famous first edition. This F8, but it's actually a reprint of the first issue of Flash Comics. Got some, I believe, if I'm right, I think it may have some early Joe Kubert art in it. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite characters too. So I think on mine probably half the cover or half the top is gone. So, and the one that I didn't have that I had actually bought a copy for my son years ago because he wanted it was Superman versus Spider-Man. The first ever DC and Marvel team up. It's got a great story and art. I think maybe Jerry Conway does the story, and I think Ross Andrew and Dick Giordano on the inks. So really cool book. It's a nice shape. So happy to have this one. The rest of it's just mostly Silver Age. So I got a couple keys and maybe a couple other cool things. You can get a drink of water. Everybody knows what a big fan I am of. Everybody knows what a big fan I am of square-bound books and, you know, Silver and Bronze Age. But I found a nice copy of Daredevil King Size Special #2. I guess it might be annual #2 also, I'm not sure. But it's in great shape. At least a very fine. Got a great cover, probably Ramita, and the whole interior is Wally Wood. So for that reason alone, I'm still trying to fill some holes in my early Hulk run. There's a great cover by Herb Trimpe, issue 135, against Kang. Great looking book. Okay, I've been wanting a copy of this for a while. I've got probably 15 or 20 of the first 25 issues, but I never did have the first issue. Little Bronze Age, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #1. Really nice condition. Kind of hard to show this stuff without a glare because I got so many light sources going on because it's really dim in this room. Okay, some more Spider-Man. #62. Jazzy Johnny Romita at his best. Early Medusa appearance. It's in really nice shape. Here's no oddball book. Where I've been trying to fill some holes in my Charlton runs of old horror and sci-fi. I think this was from one of the same sellers, and I think in one of the next videos I'm going to show a bunch of Charlton stuff. But you know, this is a cool little book, probably mid-late 60s, from a company called Super Comics. Here's Eerie #15. Probably a VG minus maybe, or a good plus. Got some cool old suspense and horror stories. It's actually got a story in the back. I can't think of the character's name, maybe Space Hawk or something like it. But the last story in the book is all Basil Wolverton, who did all those great covers for Plop in the 70s. But you actually kind of see him, it's like a sci-fi character in the back. So it's really cool. Art looks great in it. And here we have what I would call a key. This is the last issue of Tales of Suspense before Captain America and Iron Man started sharing the book. And they're actually both in this story. This is #58, but I think this is actually the first Cap versus Iron Man cover. Got a little chipping on the bottom, which I'm not really worried about that, but you know, good shape. You know, a little worn around the edges, but very cool book. Jack King Kirby on the cover. Okay, the last couple I got, been trying to, I'm starting to sound like a broken record here because I'm trying to fill runs in this, and I'm kind of all over the place. I know I need to probably focus on 1 or 2 titles to try to complete, but when you see something kind of jump out at you and it's for a good price, you know, I've got a tendency to go ahead and try to get it. But anyway, here's Avengers #10. Probably very good. VG minus. Great story. First appearance of Immortus. I think maybe the second appearance of Kang is in this one. So a really nice book. It's hard to get glare when you got them in Mylar. This is one that I upgraded. My other one was a reader copy, but found a really good deal. And I think this book is starting to get kind of pricey on eBay and a lot of other places. But I've got a website I get on every so often called atomicavenue.com, and I've found some really great bargains on there. I think I filled a big chunk of my early run of Captain Marvel from there. I think a lot of the Starlin issues, and maybe like the 7 or 8 of the first 10 issues that Gene Colan did. But I found this one for a great price, so I had to snag it up. Avengers number 9. He had this listed at a like a very good or very good plus, but really the only thing that I can see, and I went all the way through this book, is probably it's got a couple little stress marks right there by the spine. So I would call this a fine plus, easy, maybe a very fine minus. And this is a book that's I found out recently that's getting kind of pricey because I think Wonder Man's supposed to make an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy number 2, if I remember right. Was really glad to get this one. And just to compare, I pulled out my my original copy that I got, sort of basically a reader, probably in like a good plus condition. So side by side, kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but yeah, it's kind of beat up there, but kind of glad to have a better copy anyway. Alright guys, that's all I got this go around. Like I say, I got some Charlton stuff to go through, so that'll probably be next. So thanks for sticking around, and onward and upward.